Welcome back to Counseling with TLC. Hey, it's Mrs. Caldarella here, and I'm excited to talk to you about this week's lesson on growth mindset. So, if you remember, I showed you this PowerPoint before. It says, hey everyone, I'm Dane the Brain, and I'm here to teach you how to use your brain to its fullest potential. The key is simple. Have a growth mindset. Now, if you remember before, we talked about what growth mindset is. It's that belief that you can put your mind to. That it's not just something you're born with, but it's something that if you really work hard at it and keep having perseverance and determination and pushing yourself through, that you'll eventually get something, even if it's hard. So let's start with an opinion question. Which statement do you most agree with? 1, how smart I can become was determined when I was born, and some people are born smart and others are not. Or 2, how smart I become has not yet been determined because it's up to me and how much effort I choose to put forth. Which one do you believe in? What opinion most fits your thoughts? I think 2. Now, how about this question? How athletic I can become was determined when I was born, and some people are born athletic and some are not. Or how athletic I become has not yet been determined because it's up to me and how much effort I want to put in to whatever sport or whatever I want to do. Which one do you believe with? I believe 2. And last one. How musically talented I can become was determined at birth. Some people are born musical and some are not. Or how musically talented I become has not yet been determined because it's up to me and how much effort I put forth. Which one do you believe in? I believe in 2. So your answers really point towards the type of mindset you tend to currently have. So did you have more 1s or 2s? Number 1 answers are more of a fixed mindset. You have this belief that, if you're not born with the ability, you will never have it. The answers of number 2 really are growth mindset that, regardless of what you're born with, if you work hard enough, you can achieve some level of musical talent, athletic talent, academics, anything. You may not be the best, because that's not what I'm saying. That doesn't mean you're all of a sudden going to be the best at everything. It just means that you will be able to have some level of ability if you simply put forth the effort. So then, by the end of this PowerPoint, I'm going to make sure that you're going to have all you have to have a growth mindset. So it's virtually the most important thing you can have when it comes to learning, especially right now when we're learning at home and not in school. It's super hard to get negative and down on ourselves, to give up and tell ourselves we can't do this and I'll never be smart enough. I'll never get this. Those are fixed mindset. Those are negative thought patterns that we have to change into a growth mindset thought pattern. We have to change our negative words and thoughts to positive ones. And that's a really hard thing to do. So here's some fixed mindset beliefs. It can be summed up with really one basic sentence. Each person's intelligence, skills, and talents are predetermined. It means you're either given or not. So here's the 2 basic beliefs for growth mindset. Each person is capable of learning anything, and struggling and failure might be necessary, but with effort and perseverance, everyone can succeed. Mistakes and failures are not actual failures. They're opportunities for us to learn and grow. When I make mistakes, when I don't get something right, instead of getting down on myself, instead of telling myself I'll never get this or I can't, I look at it as an opportunity to go, okay, what can I learn from this? What can I try different? Who has a different strategy I could use? Because, adults aren't perfect either. We have to learn and grow, and we have to practice a growth mindset too. So evaluate each statement and determine whether it reflects a fixed mindset or growth. Let's do this. If I practice, I will get better at this. Or the other one, I'll always be bad at math and nothing will be able to change that. Which one is a growth mindset? If you said the girl, you are right. The boy has a fixed mindset. How about this one? I'm the best player on the basketball team and I don't need to practice. I'm not even going to try to learn how to juggle. I already know that it will be too hard for me. Which one? If you said that they're both a fixed mindset, you are correct. They both are demonstrating a fixed mindset, just in a different way. How about we can change how smart we are, or my brother will always be better at art than me? Which one? Well, if you said the girl has a growth mindset, you would be correct. And if you said the boy has a fixed mindset, you are right. We can change how smart we are. It doesn't mean we'll be the smartest person in the room, but can we change how much we learn and how much we grow and how much knowledge we gain? Absolutely. Simply by having the determination and keep trying. It's the power of one word. That word is yet. You may not get it yet, but you will. If you keep telling yourself, okay, I can't get this yet, but I will. Or I don't know how to do this yet, but I will get it. That power of the word yet. Everyone tells me that I was born to dance. I am proud of myself because I worked hard and never gave up. Which one is fixed and which one is growth? This is trickier, but if you said that the girl is fixed, you're correct. If you said if the boy was growth mindset, you are correct. I know I might fail, but I'm going to try to do it anyway. I'm really struggling with this assignment, so I'm just not going to do it. And right now, that might be something you're saying to yourself while you're at home trying to learn and you don't have your teacher to help you, and maybe your parents are around or whoever's there with you isn't able to figure it out either. So it's super easy to give up. But you don't have to have a fixed mindset about it. You could have the growth mindset like the girl. You know you might fail at it, but you're going to try it anyway. That's how we learn. Even if we make a mistake on our assignments, we learn. Especially going on to middle school. Some of you fifth graders are going to be moving on to the middle school. And that's going to be super important for you to remember. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to get everything right, but that's okay. That's how you learn and grow. That's what life is all about. I don't want to do this, right? Because you don't want to fail, and I'll look like a fool if I fail. I can learn from my mistakes. Which one's growth and which one's fixed? If you said that the girl is a fixed, you're right. If you said that the boy is a growth, you are correct. And there's several more that we could look at, but I want to get through this. It's time to learn the basics about how our brain works. See, your brain is an organ, and your brain is rather soft. Actually, it has the consistency of warm butter, which is kind of gross. But it also acts like a muscle, which is amazing. So your brain, your skull protects your brain, and your brain consumes lots of energy. And then it actually consumes about a fifth of the food that like the energy from the food that you eat. And there's billions of neurons. It's a pretty amazing organ, and it does lots of things for us. It creates pathways. So is it possible then to grow the size of our brain? Yes, because those pathways grow every time you learn something new, and they become stronger, and that's how your brain grows. So let's get to the next part of my slide. See, as it grows, it gets thicker. You see that? But if you don't try new things and you give up, it will become weaker. So that's what happens when you stop trying to learn. So, using what you just learned about the brain, why might practicing a sport be important? Well, each time you practice, that pathway in your brain becomes stronger. You will get better and better and better. Practicing allows you to train your brain and improve skills like shooting free throws. And you just learned how to do a difficult math problem. Why might it be important to do additional problems like that one? Well, the pathway is still rather weak, and after just one successful experience, it's not going to be super strong. So you have to keep trying. So, how about in any other subject, it's no different. So, especially over summer vacation, right? It's important to keep reading because your teachers know that if you're not reading, right, you're not building those pathways. So when it comes to having a growth mindset, this is essential. Positive self-talk. We have lots of negative messages. I can't do this. This is too hard. I'll never get this. I want to quit. It's important to talk to ourselves in a positive way. So, self-talk. Consider a reaction to this kind of a statement. Tomorrow you will begin researching facts for your animal report. A 10-page report is due next Friday. What's the initial thought you might have? Take a minute to think about that. Well, here's two different reactions. A 10-page report, that's going to be impossible. I'll never be able to write a 10-page report. A 10-page report? That's going to be challenging, but I can do it. I'll just take one step at a time until I get it written. Two different ways of thinking about something. One is fixed, one is growth. Yep, the negative self-talk was a fixed mindset. The positive self-talk was the growth mindset. And you can do that. Because see, negative self-talk can be harmful to your brain. It can prevent you from working hard and trying your best. It will stop your brain from growing because you'll just easily give up. And as fifth graders, you're moving on to middle school, it's going to be super, super important for you to have a growth positive mindset to push yourself through some of the tough things that might be coming your way. Positive self-talk can be helpful. It can help hard even when things become difficult. It helps you to reach your goals. And we just talked about goal setting last week. This week is about growth mindset. It will help you to keep working towards those goals and reaching them. So I want you to determine if these statements are positive self-talk or negative. So this is too difficult. I quit. Where should that go? You're right. And the negative. This is very difficult, but I will keep trying, right? I think I can get it. You're right. That's the positive self-talk. I will continue to practice the skills so I don't forget. Positive or negative? You're right. Positive. I mastered the skill, so I don't have to practice it anymore. You're right. Negative. I've never done this before, and it looks hard. I'm going to do something I'm good at. You're right. Negative. I've never done this before, and it looks hard. It's always good to try new things. So I'm going to do it. You're right. Positive. I've already tried to do this and I failed. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can try and fail again. You're right. That's a negative self-talk. The last time I tried this, I failed, but maybe I'll do better and I'll try this one more time. Maybe I'll do better this time. Yes, that's positive. So how do people with growth mindset then handle mistakes and failures? Because you know what? We all make mistakes and we fail. How do we keep positive? But did you know that making mistakes is a good thing? For example, if these two students took the same quiz and they had to guess on what answer they didn't know, Michael guesses, and his answer was correct, but his teacher assumed that he understood the concept when he really didn't understand it at all. Anna took a guess, and her answer was incorrect. Her teacher knew that Anna didn't understand that concept, and so then the teacher went and talked to Anna about it so that she would understand it for the next test. Who learned more? Nolan absolutely hates making mistakes, so he avoids new situations whenever possible. So even though Nolan's grandpa is an expert chess player and wants to teach Nolan how to play, Nolan won't. And so then he reluctantly agrees, and then he quits because the grandfather points out some mistakes that he made. Nolan's fixed mindset makes him unwilling to make mistakes. As a result, he misses opportunities to learn new things. And friends, that's what I don't want you to miss out on, is new opportunities to learn new things. So we're going to skip through this stuff. There are some fairly famous people who made mistakes, but used those mistakes to learn, like Thomas Edison. Did you know that he conducted experiments on his concepts 9,000 times before he ever got it right? Or how about Spencer Silver? He was a chemist who was trying to invent strong adhesive, and instead, he created a weak one. During his experiments, he made a mistake. And when he invented that weak adhesive, do you know what that is? That's that sticky substance that we have on Post-it notes. Amazing. Let's move on to failures. Most people will admit that they would rather succeed than fail. I would rather succeed than fail, but there's a but to that. Take a moment to consider this statement. From failure, you learn. From success, not so much. I want you to think about that. So from failure, you learn. I have a perfect example for this. A few weeks ago, I spent 4 hours creating a presentation on the computer and I forgot to save it. So at first I was so angry, like really mad. I even blamed my mom for not reminding me to save it. But then my mom pointed out that I will probably never make the same mistake again. And she's right. I definitely learned from that failure. This means that if you succeed at something immediately, your brain doesn't really grow. You don't really learn anything from that. In terms of that story about if my mom would have reminded me to save my presentation, I would have learned nothing from the experience. So we have to fail sometimes to learn. Okay? So, as you can see, if you approach mistakes and failures with a growth mindset, you'll be able to handle situations in a positive way. I hate mistakes. Making mistakes gives me an opportunity to learn. So you're going to get the opportunity in the worksheets that I sent home to change some negative statements to positive statements and to tell me some of the things you've told yourself. I mean, they were a negative statement, which is that fixed mindset, and how you would change those to be positive. Because I want you to practice telling yourself positive things to help you get through, not just this time, but through learning throughout the rest of your life. Having a growth mindset will help us do that. Until next time, Counseling with TLC. Talk to you later.